Writing is such an important part of our lives as INFJs. It's truly life changing in so many ways, from problem solving to communication to healing from your past and planning your future. I really want to help you learn more about writing and to dig deeper into how it can help you. So, I've created 8 additional episodes of The Quiet Ones that you can access for free at infjwoman.com/season 5 extras. These episodes will talk you through how to understand yourself better through writing, how to organize your life, how to solve your problems with writing, improving your communication skills, and getting past all of your writing blocks. Get access now at infjwoman.com/season 5 extras. When I was 15, I fell in love with race cars. It was such a random thing, but I loved them. People kept asking me what I wanted to do when I grow up, and I had no idea. But I knew that I wanted to do something big and meaningful. I needed something that was way bigger than me to focus on, to push me, to help me fulfill my potential and be happy with my life. I don't know how I knew that I needed that big goal, but it's made all the difference in my life. You need a big goal too, something a lot bigger than you that will push you to be the best version of yourself. Writing will help you get there. We'll talk about this and a lot more on this episode of The Quiet Ones. I believe the biggest problem in the world is that people don't understand themselves enough. This show is designed to help you understand your INFJ personality, heal from your past, and create a life that you love. I'm Sarah Kuhn, and this is the Quiet Ones podcast. When I was 15, I sat down to watch a NASCAR race with my dad. The company he worked for was doing a lot of business with freight companies like FedEx and UPS. They sponsored race cars, so they invited my dad to the racetrack. He got really excited about racing and started watching it all the time. I was curious about his interest, so I sat down to watch it with him. I don't know what it was about race cars going around in circles, but I was mesmerized. It was so much fun to learn about drivers and crew chiefs and strategy and tires. I loved every aspect of it. I just couldn't get enough. I watched every TV show about racing, read every book that I could get my hands on, learned about physics and aerodynamics, anything that would help me understand better. This was probably my first INFJ deep dive, and it lasted for about 20 years. All throughout high school, people kept asking me, what do you want to do when you grow up? What are you going to do after you graduate? And I hated that question. I didn't want to graduate because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew that I didn't want to be average or mediocre. I didn't want the things that all of my friends seemed to want. I wanted to do something really big, something special and meaningful. I explored things like mechanical engineering, criminal justice. I even thought about going into aerospace engineering and possibly even being an astronaut. But then I realized the problem was I didn't really want to have to work. Work felt like a 4-letter word to me. I really just wanted to have fun, to enjoy my life, especially since I would be spending so much time working. And since I love NASCAR so much, I figured that if I got a job working around race cars, then it wouldn't feel like work, right? It would be fun. My whole perspective on life changed once I made the decision that I was going to work in NASCAR. I wanted it so bad that I wasn't willing to let anything get in the way. Everything was either something that helped my goal, something that hurt my goal, or completely irrelevant. I was willing to endure things that I never would have otherwise. I was willing to put myself through hell as long as I viewed it as something that helped my goal. No one around me really understood my drive or my desire. So many people told me I was crazy and that I would never get what I wanted and there was no way it was going to work out. But I didn't care. I just kept pushing. To be honest, I really didn't understand my drive either. I just knew that this was the only thing that I had. And without it, I felt lost and hopeless. And I didn't want to feel lost or hopeless. I hated that feeling more than anything else. So I desperately clung to my goal and I kept pushing forward. When you have a goal, you have something to look forward to, something to push you forward. I believe everyone needs a big goal in your life, a life goal, if you will. We all need something to focus on, something that's bigger than us, something will help us figure out how to be the best version of ourselves. When you have this type of goal, you view everything in your life through 3 different categories. Things that will help you achieve your goal, things that will not help you achieve your goal, and irrelevant things. At one point in my life, I started running. I hired a running coach and got really serious about working out every single day. He said that I needed to start cycling and swimming to help my running. I hate swimming. But that hate didn't matter so much because I was so focused on running that I wanted to do anything that I could to run faster. I was really embarrassed to admit, though, that I'd never learned how to swim underwater without holding my nose. I didn't want to tell anyone that, but I didn't know how to fix it on my own. But running was more important than that embarrassment, so I fessed up and told my coach the problem. He suggested a swimming teacher who told me that half of her students were adults just like me. And I learned to swim underwater without holding my nose in just a few short lessons. People think that achieving goals is what gives you a dopamine rush, what makes you happy, but it's not. Whether you achieve the goal or not, it really doesn't matter. It's working for the goal that gives you meaning in your life. It's striving for something bigger than you that gives you the motivation to keep going. And that is what makes you happy. So I'm sure the question that you're asking is, why should you bother doing something that's extremely difficult? And here's the answer. Because it's worth it. Because the opposite is suffering. The opposite is feeling lost and feeling that your life is meaningless. And what's the point of suffering? Especially if you are the cause of your own suffering. There's really no point at all. Life is way too short to be the cause of your own suffering. To know your life is miserable and that it's completely your fault. Okay, so you know you need a goal now. I've convinced you of that. You're probably as scared of being lost and hopeless as I am, but you don't know what goal to focus on. I've been there too. There was a point when racing was no longer the goal. I felt that familiar, lost, and hopeless feeling, and I didn't know how to make it go away. I struggled for more than 2 years to find something that was bigger than me that would help me. I explored a few things, though it's difficult to explore when you're in the depths of depression. That was when I found writing. I wanted to write for my whole life. I knew that I could write, and I really wanted to. I had even toyed with the idea of writing fiction for a while, and I read a bunch of books about it. I'd also started about 5 or 6 blogs that I wrote 2 or 3 posts on each, and then got so embarrassed and scared that I abruptly deleted them. I was somewhere between feeling embarrassed of my feelings and terrified of any kind of reaction or judgment. So I wanted to write, and I'd started on it, but I really wasn't committed up to that point. In December of 2018, I finally decided to get committed and focus. I realized that this was the goal that I needed. This was the thing that was bigger than me, that I could focus on, and that would make me a better person. That's when I started my blog, INFJ Woman. It pushed me to learn more about myself and to help others by sharing what I had learned. It has done more than just that, though. Over the last 4 years, not only have I learned to write, but I've also learned how to handle criticism. I've learned that other people's negative opinions don't matter as much as I thought that they did, and that the response was overwhelmingly positive, which I never would have expected. I've also learned about podcasting and making videos for YouTube, and I've overcome my fear of being on camera. Well, I'm making a lot of progress on that fear, I guess I should say. But I'm not terrified anymore, which is massive progress for me. I've expanded what I know about Instagram, and I've learned how to connect with all kinds of people all over the world in a much deeper and more authentic way. I've also learned a lot about endurance, something that I thought I knew about, something that I thought running taught me, that I thought that I learned in college, but I really had no idea until I started my blog. We live in a world where everyone expects immediate results. When you get a headache, you reach for the Advil and your headache goes away. When you're curious about an actor on TV or a recipe for dinner, you grab your phone and Siri or Google are there to tell you exactly what you need. We hear about people who are overnight successes a lot, especially in blog writing and podcasts and online businesses. But few people talk about the work that goes into their overnight success. Few people talk about starting with an impossible goal that is a million times bigger than you are, that pushes you and pulls you to be better than you are right now, that forces you to grow beyond what you thought was even possible. One of my favorite bloggers is Glennon Doyle. She used to blog about depression and anxiety and eating disorders, all things that I struggled with. I was listening to an interview that she did not too long ago, and someone asked her what it felt like to be an quote-unquote overnight success. She said it felt weird to be called an overnight success because she had spent 10 years blogging every single day. So she really wasn't an overnight success. It's just that no one saw the struggle before the success. But it was that struggle that made her the writer that everyone fell in love with. So back to how you get the difficult goal. You have to find something that you love, something that you've probably already started, the thing that keeps nagging at you that you want to do, but you think you're not good enough, or that you could never do it like other people do. That's the thing to focus on. You don't have to accomplish this goal overnight, and you really shouldn't. This should be a goal that takes you years to accomplish. It's something you can focus on for a while that will give you meaning and purpose in life. And if writing happens to be your thing, well, you're in the right place. We're going to be talking a lot more about writing in the coming weeks. Writing is such an important part of our lives as INFJs. It's truly life-changing in so many ways, from problem solving to communication to healing from your past and planning your future. I really want to help you learn more about writing and to dig deeper into how it can help you. So I've created 8 additional episodes of The Quiet Ones that you can access for free at infjwoman.com/season5extras. These episodes will talk you through how to understand yourself better through writing, how to organize your life, how to solve your problems with writing, improving your communication skills, and getting past all of your writing blocks. Get access now at infjwoman.com/season5extras.